Hey everyone, B2B PM Bassist here. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about what I've learned over the course of playing my many instruments. Alright, so in my many years of being musical, I've gone through quite a number of instruments, from bass and guitar to violin and piano, even drums for a little while, and all sorts of different wind instruments as well. So I've really learned a lot through my time playing, and so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've learned through that, things that I've found good, things I wish I knew when I started playing certain instruments. Because I feel like as much as I've only been playing bass for almost like about 2.5 years, you still learn a lot in that small amount of time. And there's just some stuff I wish I knew when I started playing bass that probably would have made me a lot better than I am today. And I know that kind of sounds weird. Because I love where I am today. I think there's places where I can improve. But most other people have said that I am good. Like, it's not that I'm not good. And I acknowledge that I'm not bad. But I know that I definitely have plenty of room to improve. But there's places I could have been so much better today if I just knew some very simple. So in my first year, I was completely self-taught of playing, or essentially, for like, I started playing in May of 2018, and until, I want to say, the beginning of October, I was self-taught. And that entire time, I was learning strictly from YouTube videos and tab websites. And that's great. I'm glad that I learned when I did, how I did, but there's just so much more I wish I knew. First of all, I wish I knew that I needed to read bass clef. I always ignored it whenever I would see it because there's tabs. I'm like, oh, there's tabs. I can just read that, and that's so much easier than learning a new clef. Because I've been reading treble clef all of my life, and I never thought that I would need to learn bass clef for this instrument. And then I started taking lessons, and I took lessons so I can be in the jazz band at my school. And they were like, nope, you gotta know bass clef. And that was a big halt for me. It definitely took me back in my studies because I had to go back to the basics and relearn how to play by not reading tabs but reading in bass clef. And that was definitely a big struggle for me. And once I did manage to figure that out and figure out what I was doing correctly, I definitely started to improve. Alright, so along with reading bass clef, there's actually a few other things I wish I knew. First of all, I wish I knew that I didn't have to put so much effort in. When I started playing, I pretty much only focused on playing. That was pretty much my main focus, and back then I was very big on gaming. I know I've kind of slowed down on my gaming recently, but I was a very big gamer. And so I was pretty much constantly online gaming if I wasn't doing work. And I mean, and I still played for hours a day. Some days less, some days more, but overall, I would play for hours. And that ultimately, I think, was my downfall, because I taught myself that I need to be the best I can be, and the only way I can do that is by actually practicing for hours on end, getting the best I can be out of every single practice session. I never realized that a small 5-minute practice session could go a long way for me. I know everyone says, oh, just practice 5 minutes a day and you'll be fine. And the reason they say that is because they know that if you actually like the instrument, you're going to practice those 5 minutes and then more, because you're going to get carried away. And I know that for me, that's true. If I aim to practice for 5 minutes, I will practice more. But back then, I didn't realize that, and I practiced for a really long time. And I think that was ultimately my downfall more recently, because as I got into my second year, I started gigging a lot more. I think since December of 2018, I have had easily 13 to 14 gigs or more. And they're a lot of fun. I love going out and being able to play for people, but you don't realize is that those are a lot of effort. If you're playing a 45-minute show, that takes a lot of practice and a lot of effort to be able to get yourself ready. And you shouldn't be I don't practice every day. I try to practice as much as I can, but I definitely tend to, or I used to tend to practice a couple days a week or more for hours on end. Now, if I try to practice a few days a week. I don't try to extend it. If I can get my hands on my bass every day, I'm happy. Even if I don't play anything, as long as I can get my hand on that fretboard, I am happy. Because it allows for me to still be able to get the feel of the fretboard, still be able to remember things, even if I'm not playing anything. And I used to play for hours on end, and now I've injured my hand twice. I've displaced it and sprained it. And, that's not good. You have to know what you're doing to play. Definitely you're going to really want to learn what you're doing and really focus in on that. But also you want to know not to practice hours on end. And I wish I knew that when I started playing. So I knew not to practice hours on end. I probably wouldn't have hurt my hand. And I also would probably be a better player because I would know maybe not as many songs as I know, but I would definitely know my songs better. All right, so one last thing I wish I knew is that I wish I knew how far a physical teacher could go. As I said before, for pretty much the first half of my first year playing, from about May to October, I didn't have a teacher. I taught myself, I watched YouTube videos, and that's great. I always recommend watching YouTube videos for what you want to learn because there's some great resources out there that can help you learn things. And even some of my videos are great, and I can tell you that. And some of my videos I can say, as much as they're great, and I say definitely go watch them, you're going to want a real teacher as well. Because as much as these people on YouTube, for the most part, are professionally trained teachers, there's some things that they can't do being a pre-recorded video. Even now in this age of quarantine and virtual everything, I do virtual lessons with my teacher, and virtual lessons are not bad. I mean, YouTube lessons are not bad, but there are definitely places where they're not amazing, where I can't interact with you guys live during a lesson unless it's a live stream. And even then, there's delay. I'm not going to be able to directly interact with you guys. So the fact of having a real teacher definitely helps with that live interaction. And it definitely helps you become better. And I wish I knew that immediately. But I guess for me, the reason I didn't jump into getting a teacher was mainly because I didn't know if I was going to stick with the instrument. I have been big on starting an instrument and then dropping it just because I didn't feel like it fit me. I would pick up an instrument, hold it for a year and then drop it, or pick it up and hold it for a day and then drop it. It really depends on how it works with me and if I am happy with it. And overall, with bass, I've been very happy with it, and so I picked up a teacher, and now I'm really happy playing. And you guys should too, I definitely think that. But if you guys really are on edge, use those YouTube videos, but use them wisely. Don't learn every technique from a YouTube video. Learn songs from YouTube videos. That's great. I love learning songs from YouTube videos. It's pretty much the only way I do them. But you definitely want a real teacher to teach you technique. Because there's some techniques you just can't learn over YouTube. And that's definitely a thing I wish I knew, because if I knew that, I probably, again, would not have hurt myself so many times. Because even with a teacher, I went off trying to learn techniques on my own over YouTube. And yeah, I got hurt. I displaced my thumb from trying to learn something over YouTube. I would practice 10 to 15 hours a week. And I would be playing pretty intense the rest of the time, where I would be practicing over YouTube, just trying to learn to the best of my ability. And it's great. I love learning. I loved that time where I was able to learn over a YouTube video. I thought that was really fun. But I feel like overall, if I had listened to my teacher, because my teacher told me not to learn the techniques yet, if I had listened to him, I think I would have been a better player by now. And I'm happy with where I am, but I definitely think there are some things I could be doing a lot better if I had slowly listened to my teacher and not done YouTube lessons once I got that teacher. And also, I wish I knew that I should have gotten a teacher earlier. So, those are just some things. Yeah, wrap stuff up. So overall, what I'm saying is, really, there's so many things that I wish I knew. And some of these things I think would benefit you guys greatly. Definitely, if you don't have a live teacher and you're on the fence, you can always join me over on my Twitch and talk to me about it. I also will do live streams here occasionally. And if there's ever something you guys want to talk about live with me, you can let me know in the comments. You can join into the Discord, which are down below. And if I like the idea, I will bring it into a live stream. And also, if you really just want a one-on-one with me live, you can go down below. There's a website, and that website links you to an email. And I'll leave the email in the description also. And you guys can just shoot me an email, and I will read it and respond to you as soon as I can. And I can try and set something up between us and work on stuff. And I tend to do that over my Discord. So if you're in the server, I will respond a little faster. But I prioritize you guys. So I want to be able to make sure that you guys are doing well. And I feel like a live teacher is great for that. And that's why I like offering that stuff. Because even though I am not professionally trained in my instrument, I have been playing for a while. And for those of you who might be just picking it up, might be more useful to just be able to talk to someone who's been playing. Even if it's not playing and I'm not teaching you things, it's always useful just to talk to someone who's experienced. I know I have really enjoyed that. Where I have enjoyed just being able to talk to someone that knows what they're doing. Because it really does go a long way. It can tell you a lot of stuff that you would not even think about. And overall, really, it's just quite amazing over there. I mean, I just have to say it. It's quite amazing to have a real human. So yeah, I definitely you're one teacher. I wish I knew that. I wish I knew not to practice so much. I definitely was told multiple times I shouldn't be practicing so much, and yet I still did. And also, I really just wish I wish I started playing earlier. If I really had to sum up what I'm saying, I wish I started playing earlier. But yeah. Well, I mean, that's really it. I mean, you guys ought to hear them. You heard it here first. I mean, there's some great things about online teaching. There's some great things about physical teaching. And I'm going to say, if you want to really learn, go for a real-life teacher and your YouTube stuff. Learn songs off of YouTube. You can see techniques off of YouTube, but you're definitely going to want to get a real teacher. Yeah. I wish I knew that, and thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I upload every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Also, if you guys do want to talk to me live, and I'm not live over here, I'm live over on Twitch every Wednesday at 4 p.m. and Friday at 4 p.m. And although that schedule is constantly changing, I know this week I actually streamed yesterday, which was Tuesday, at 5. So Schedule is constantly changing, so there is a schedule down in my Twitch, though, that I suggest you guys all follow and check so you know when I am streaming. And also join the Discord, because I let you guys know if there's a change in the schedule first over there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chilling, and I'll see you guys next week.